18th century pubs, which were just houses with a sign up, and Victorian pubs, which were all about ornamentation and grandeur. And the reason was that the Victorians just wanted to expand the brewery business, so people would come and buy more beer, you know, regardless of their standing as being quite prudish or moral kind of upstanding gentlemen. They were foremost, they were business people, and so they saw the money in turning pubs from being shady, seedy places like the Daniel Lambert would have been into places where anyone could go, and to do that they needed to keep them clean. So one reason you have tiled exteriors to pubs is just it makes it easier to mop up all the blood, sick, urine and everything else that commonly happens. Something interesting's happened with this pub. It's reverted to its original name, so it's called Minerva Street back in the day, and I think it was called the Dog and Partridge for a while, and then it became Market Tavern, and it looks like it's reverted to the original name, which is always interesting. Back to the type tour, around the corner is my favourite example of it's hard to get close to this one. We've actually got two things to look at. One is the original hand-lettered sign for a flower company within a flower company, which is more or less still legible. And then a modern example of fine writing skills going on. That's right. Yeah. So when you examine signs like this, they kind of tell a story, you know, a simple story, a story nonetheless. Starting at the top, the first line is pretty shaky. The curves don't quite work, and it looks like when you get to the second line, they're actually drawing around perhaps a steel rule. Everything that would perhaps involve a curve, a letter that would need a curve, is squared off completely. Whereas in the top line, there is an outline of blue magic marker that's been glossed in with thick green paint. But on the curves, the guy's really become quite panicky. He hasn't liked curves and not really known what to do. The R especially, well, this is my favourite letter in a 10-mile radius. Amazing what's going on there. This gigantic flared tail, and just a strange way that it's all been planned out this way, that the bow of the R starts and finishes down. So maybe someone else has been brought in to finish it off. Someone else has been employed to do it, and they've got their own style of doing things. You know, they're using the bricks as a kind of a template or a grid, and being true to that. And it's all in capitals, apart from the I's, which have their own, they're all lowercase, and slightly above the line, just but consistently so. You know, there are rules here. I think, and spacing is good as well, is the other thing, that the spacing is good. So I'm very interested when people who can't do design have a go anyway and create something new, and there's every reason to think you could steal the rest of the alphabet as a marketable typeface. Another story maybe is that the prices that have changed slightly, and this extra caveat that's been put up. I imagined like a gigantic lorry, articulated lorry appearing and saying, well, I want to be cleaned for your stated top price, and they've had to qualify it that the prices vary on larger vehicles the next time that happens. So there it is, just when you start to look at something that doesn't seem to have anything going for it, you know, a bit of a study, you know, all sorts of stories